5 years. Today we're going to be talking with Ingrid, who is the head of Telfair International Primary School, and she's going to give us some insight into the schools in Mauritius and specifically her beautiful school here in Tamarin. So Ingrid, thank you so much for this time that you've put aside to chat with us today, and for those on the other side of the screen who are not able to maybe come and meet you in person yet, but are able to just hear from you today. So maybe we can start with just a little bit of background, when you started the school. Tell us a little bit about your journey here to Telfair.
Okay, so I'm actually born in South Africa. My parents are Mauritian, and I've been here about 30 years. Okay. I'm married to a South African, so I'm a bit Mauritian, a bit South African. And we first started about 22 years ago with Tiny Tots, which is a daycare centre, and we had a couple of parents asking us to please start a primary school. So that's how we started Telfair. So around 14 years ago, we started with our first class, reception, and we built it up until we got our year 6. Our aim now is to move into the smart city in around 2 years' time, and so in the meantime, we've got our little Telfair village here in Tamarin.
Yes, yeah, and so really you spoke a little bit about your daycare centre, which is Tiny Tots, and that's just a great opportunity to move those kids into the primary school section, and you've built it up over time into what it is today. So tell us a little bit about the curriculum, because there are lots of different schools with different curriculums. So what curriculums are available, and which one did you choose for the Telfair Primary?
Okay, so in Mauritius, you've got the Cambridge, the Mauritian curriculum. They follow the Cambridge curriculum, mixed with a bit of Mauritian. And then if you look at the international schools on the island, you've got IPC, PYP, the MYP, the Cambridge, and we've decided to follow the traditional British curriculum.
Okay. All right. So how large would your classes be? So you've got classes, you said grade R through to class 6. How many kids are in each year?
Okay. So we started with one class per age group. So we've got reception right through till year 6. And we have around 15 children in a class. And our aim is to have 2 classes per level, just so that they can have friends. We found that sometimes it was a bit difficult. One year we had 15 girls and 1 boy. So we realized that that wasn't practical. So for that reason, we wanted to keep the smallness of the school. So we decided to do 2 classes of 15 per age level.
Okay. And in your class, you've got a teacher and then you've got an assistant teacher to those 15 kids, which is a really amazing ratio of teachers to children.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's right through.
Right.
Our aim is in Key Stage 2 is to have 1 assistant for 2 classes, and in Key Stage 1, you'll have a teacher and an assistant in each class.
Okay. And Key Stage 1 is grade R to class 2.
That's right.
And Key Stage 2 is class 3
to year 6. So that's 4, 5 to 7, right. And then 8 to 11.
All right. And so for some that may not know, what is reception? Because the children start the year they turn 5. So that's reception year. What is reception? Okay,
so in reception, they'll be learning. They'll be wearing a uniform, getting used to the normal everyday routines. And they'll also be learning to read and write for the first year. And then they start class 1 the following year, where they're learning spelling and how to do creative writing.
Okay. All right, great. So, as you mentioned, one of the questions was, do the kids wear school uniforms? So, yes, they do. Okay.
Because we're an inclusive school, we want everyone to feel the same, so it's very important that we wear a school uniform.
Okay, good. And so, tell me a little bit about your vision and mission for the school. If you had to explain it to somebody, what would that be?
Okay. Well, for us, what was very important is that we wanted children to be happy to come to school and to love learning. And we encourage children to challenge themselves. How can I do better? What can I do to get a better mark? As opposed to competing with other children.
Right. And so if you had to describe the culture of the school, what would they feel? What would someone feel when they walked into the school ground? What's obvious?
Okay, so first of all, we're multicultural. We've got people from all over that come. We're very much of a community school, and there's a family feel to it, and it's very inclusive as well.
Okay, great. I think it helps to just get an idea of what your passion and vision is for the school, and what makes the school slightly different. So if there was one thing that you could say, what is unique about Telfair International Primary?
What's unique? I would say the fact that we've got, well, the small numbers. We've got specialist teachers that come in and teach all the specialist subjects, because the academics are very important to us, but so are the specialist subjects. And it's special that you've got a teacher that can share their passion with the children, such as dancing, drama, singing. So all the children get exposed to that.
Okay. And I mean, one of the questions, I'm going to throw a new one in here, is what about difference in learning? If you've got children that have a slight difference in learning, how does your school cope with that? Is there a facility that helps children in that way?
We do. We've got a special needs facility, which we are busy developing now.
Okay.
What's very important to us is that we don't like giving children labels. So being an international school, we do have children from different curriculums. So we do bridging, which will help fill in the gaps for the different children. So children do see children leaving for that. Also learning English, because we've got children coming from Israel, for example, and they don't necessarily speak English and they don't have the same alphabet. So they will be called out. And also children with any kind of learning difficulty that can still stay in mainstream school. We work as a team. So we'll have a poetry specialist, we'll have a speech therapist, and we also have our special needs coordinator. And we all work with the teachers as a team to try and see how we can help all our children.
Okay, that's fabulous. And I think that it's a lovely approach where the child is still integrated and part of the class, but they're able to get that extra support that they need. Fabulous. Okay, good. And so let's talk about secondary school. So once the children finish up at class 6, what happens then? Because you don't have a secondary school. So where do they go to from there?
So most of our children go to Le Bocage, which is in Muka.
Okay.
And I know they have plans to build another campus closer. So they're our feeder school. Therefore, our children don't need to write an entrance exam. Once they've finished our curriculum, they just go straight into the high school. There are other high schools as well on the island, and our children have integrated into these schools with no problem.
Right. Okay, that's fabulous. Good. And so just in terms of your school day, what time do the kids start and finish school?
Okay, so we start school at 8:15, so our gates are open at around 8, and then we finish at 2:15. We have after-school clubs from Monday to Thursday, and that is from 2:15 to 3:15. Fridays is the day that we finish at 1, and that's the play day today.
Absolutely. So what kind of afternoon clubs can parents expect to be on offer for the kids?
So over and above all our specialist subjects, we do have some fun activities, such as eco-kids, chess, drawing, dancing, guitar, archery, Thai boxing. We do have a couple of different activities. And every term, we encourage parents to take part as well in the clubs and the teachers. And we also have outside specialists that come.
Okay, that's fabulous. And so tell me, Ingrid, what about safety and hygiene protocols at the moment? What is the school needing to do with the pandemic? What are the kids going through at the moment with that? Can you give us a little bit of insight?
Okay, so for now, we want the children to feel safe, and parents, and to be happy to come to school. So we do check temperatures in the morning, we do sanitizing throughout the day, and we check temperatures twice throughout the day, and we keep all of that on record. We don't allow any adults, unfortunately, to come in, even if they're vaccinated. It's just the children and the staff. We disinfect regularly. It's very important for us. And we've also got little bubbles. So the children will be in their classroom, and will be sitting and eating in their classroom, and we try and do the different times so that there's no overlapping when they walk into the specialist subjects. So one class leaves just before, the teacher has time to disinfect, and then the next group of children go in. So that's basically what we are doing now, and obviously the older children and the staff need to wear a mask.
Okay, and do they have to wear that mask the whole day during the classroom time, or how does that work?
Okay, so while they're in the classroom with their teacher, they do social distancing, so therefore they don't wear masks. As soon as they leave the classroom, all the masks are put on. The reception class, because they're still young, they don't wear masks. It's only as from 6 and 7 they start wearing masks.
And how have the kids coped with that? It seems to be, hasn't been a stress. And
we were very worried last year when we were coming back because they were at home. It was parents going out, children were not allowed out. So we were wondering how were they going to deal with that. So, but to be quite honest, I think they've actually dealt very well. We've got some fun masks coming. So it actually, I find that most of them deal quite well with the masks.
That's fabulous, good. And so that's the health and health and hygiene protocol. What about when the country has gone into lockdown? We hope that it doesn't happen again, but when the kids have had to transition from to homeschooling, what was your approach in that time, Ingrid?
Okay, we wanted to try and minimize the amount of time that children spend in front of screens. So we decided to do work packs. So weekly work packs, the teachers came in and prepared the work packs. Then we worked on WhatsApp, because most parents have WhatsApp, where we did little videos and we found YouTube links. And then we also put all the work for those parents who didn't want to collect the work packs. They were able to get their work through Google Classroom. Yeah.
All right. And did you feel that that was a success?
Well, yes, it's not the best. It's not ideal. But we also did FaceTime. So if any child didn't know what to do, they were able to call the teacher individually and the teacher would explain what to do.
Okay. All right. So just that combination of actually sitting and writing and working through the work pack, calls with the teacher, and then communication through Google Classroom and WhatsApp.
And then the parents could do it at their own time. That's what we felt was important as well, because some parents had to go back to work. Right. So organising a Zoom session, it was getting complicated. So we felt that this was the best.
Yeah, every family was affected in a different way.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for answering all of those questions. I just thought maybe what is one piece of advice that you could give our viewers today if they were coming to Mauritius, looking for schools, and how can they help their kids? It's obviously a challenging time for the children when change is always hard. What advice can you give to the parents?
Okay, so I think it's important to visit all the schools and see where you feel your child's going to be happy. In a big school, in a small school, you'll get a feel when you come in and visit the school. And also check out the curriculums and see which one would best suit your child, and also think ahead. When I'm finished in Mauritius, where will we go? Get the best curriculum for your children. And I think it's important to show photos, talk about the island, and so that the children have an idea what they're going to. And I think also try and connect with other families. It's always nice to be able to bond and before they even start school.
Right. So Ingrid, you mentioned a little bit earlier that adults and parents aren't allowed onto the school property. So what if one of our viewers arrives in Mauritius, because October we're opening up, which we're all very excited about. Would they be able to come and take a tour of the school? No. How do you manage that?
So we do a visit because our admin building is separate. So everybody's allowed to come and visit us in our admin building. Okay. But we don't allow any adults because there's no guarantee, even if you're vaccinated, that you do have the COVID or not. And our children aren't vaccinated, and we do have children with health issues. So we prefer not to have any adults at all on our premises, apart from 5 fundraising moms who come to help when we do fun activities.
Okay, good. Well, it's good to set the expectation. And is there anything else that you want to share, or do you feel like we've covered everything about Telfair International?
I think we've covered everything.
Okay.
Thank you, Julia.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Ingrid. I really appreciate your time today. And so, viewers, if you are interested in maybe enrolling your child in Telfair International Primary School, feel welcome to reach out to us and we will help you with the process at info@rolfeinternational.com, and we would be glad to help you through those steps. Thank you, Ingrid.
You.
Bye.
Looking forward to meeting you.
Yeah.
Welcome to Telfair International Primary School, where we have been nurturing brilliant young minds over the past 15 years. Hi, I'm Ingrid Holmes. I'm the head of Telfair International Primary School and Tiny Tots Daycare Centre. Join me while we take a tour of our little Telfair village. So behind us we have our admin building. In front of us we have 2 buildings for Tiny Tots, and we're the feeder school. And there is our Key Stage 2 playground and our Key Stage 1 playground.
Thank you, Ingrid. I'm Mrs. Seema Gajada, the Deputy Head of Telfair International Primary School. We have different buildings for different sections. We have the Key Stage 1 building, we have Key Stage 2 lower section and Key Stage 2 upper section.
15 years ago, there were no private English medium schools on the West Coast. Our aim was to start a school where children would be happy to come and learn. Here at Telfair, we follow the British curriculum. We are not only an academic school, as we believe in a holistic education, and therefore we also have specialist teachers coming in to teach.
Thank you for watching.
We look forward to welcoming you to our Telfair family.